Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Blur. I wanted to talk about something, and I figured using my long abandoned YouTube channel to do it would be fun. I want to talk about the prototype games. If you're not familiar, they're a series of games that are kind of like Infamous, except they're available on Xbox. They were the original was released in 2008, and the sequel was released in 2012. And I just find them very fun, very interesting. First, in the original prototype game, you play as Alex Mercer, who has so much 2000s edge, it is hilarious. Like the kind of guy who wears his hood up constantly and you have like one person who actually likes you and she almost dies. I think it's so funny. But in prototype, you essentially have superpowers. And they're like really strong superpowers that are actually extremely useful. You can like super speed run, super jump. You essentially have all the abilities of Superman, but you can also transform your hands into weapons like claws and big hammers and blades, and it's really it's really fun. It's hard as all crap for me at least, but it's very fun. And you do get that feeling that I've only ever really gotten in Saints Row 4, where you are like an unstoppable god, at least to normal enemies. The more advanced enemies, it can be a bit of a problem, but against normal enemies, they can't do crap to you. And I find it really fun, and you consume people in order to heal. And I just think it's so. Like I mentioned Edge, it has so much 2000s edge going on. It is hilarious. And there'll definitely be some spoilers in here because I said I want to talk about the game. That includes the story. And Alex isn't a real person. The same thing that gives you your superpowers has infected most of Manhattan and is causing these people called the Black Watch to lock down the entire island and essentially uh, force Alex to fight them because he doesn't want them to. Eventually, the plan is nuke Manhattan. I'm looking at you, Avengers. you actually it predates Avengers, so Avengers might have took the idea from Prototype. That's I think nuking Manhattan is just a trend in science fiction. But anyway, they the whole game, except for the final mission, is a giant framing device of Alex telling the story of the game to mysterious gas mask man, is what I called him. You learn later on he's a very important character, and you also learn on the final mission that he's the true villain, because of course he is. But Alex Mercer is never depicted as a good person. He kills a lot of people, not just the infected who, you know, deserve to die, they're infected, but a whole bunch of soldiers and probably a whole bunch of civilians because it is nearly impossible to not accidentally kill civilians in the course of the game, especially any of the missions that involve driving tanks or APCs, because then you're just going to be running people over in order to get where you're going. I think it's fun. But my favorite thing about sort of the setup with Alex Mercer is actually the intro sequence of Prototype 2, where you play as a different guy, and is he sees Alex, and you get something you don't really understand from the first game. You get to see how absolutely terrifying Alex Alex is from like a normal soldier's perspective. Like he drops in out of nowhere, just does not give a crap about the massive amount of infected around him. Just one swipes your whole squad, and then it's very fun. And of course, your guy becomes the new well new version of Alex basically, because as I said, Alex isn't a person; he's part of the infection. Yeah, for and big twist, he released the infection, but he doesn't remember that until the end of the game, and he's decided that I'm not Alex Mercer anymore, so I don't have to. I'm not Alex Mercer anymore, but I'll make up for what Alex Mercer did. Uh, I just think it's a really interesting series, especially as someone who played a lot of Saints Row 4. Actually, that's my first Saints Row game, and with all the superpowers in that, that's a lot stupider. This is a lot edgier. But I think there needs to be a Prototype 3. Have always wanted to play it in. Well, like I compared it to Infamous at the beginning. I've always wanted to play an Infamous game, but it's not really an option for me. I'm not on PlayStation, so I want a Prototype 3 or something like Prototype that is available on Xbox. This is incredibly random.